And our crew is pulling out. The boat's kind of landing a little funky on the trailer, but something interesting here, I didn't see them trim the motors up. Curious to see how that goes as they try and pull this out. But welcome back, crew, to the greatest show on earth, and that is the Miami Boat Ramps channel. I'm your host, Broncos Guru, and today we are down here visiting oh my gosh, it's going to be close. Visiting 79th Street. Man, that is about as close as she gets. I don't hear any scraping action. The girl is walking off like it's success. But man, so they better stop and trim them up. I don't think they will make it all the way home like that. No way. But they pulled out. I don't believe they scraped anything. That's a close one. Man, it's always interesting down here at 79th Street. More so than the other boat ramps we even visit, we always see some big boats being launched here. As you can tell here, we've got two coming in right now, and these boats are bigger than they look. That's always the surprising part, is these big, huge boats with these cabins in the front. They are heavy boats, and 79th is ideal for it. 79th's got a little bit longer ramp. It's not quite as steep as some of the other places we go to, but they always make for some interesting scenes, because if something's going to go wrong, a lot of times I'm always like, it's going to go wrong with these big boats. It's a lot of weight. These ramps are still slick. And I gotta imagine the stress level is a little higher as you're launching or retrieving these as well, meaning that it might be just a little easier for some things to be either forgotten or slightly missed as they're doing so. So our crew on the right looks like they already have theirs in the water. The ladies are walking it back. And the crew on the left is taking their sweet time trying to get theirs launched. But life's pretty easy on the right-hand side when you got 4 people already working on the boat after you dropped it in the water. Now, it's been several minutes, and our crew's just finally starting to get out of here now. But again, life's a little easier even with a big boat when you've got a bunch of crew. So my guy, you can see right here, he wasn't there after they got the boat off. So he went and parked the truck, but they backed this thing down, tied it up, got everything ready to roll. And he literally has just gotten down here and is stepping right onto the boat. In other words, he already knows and trusts his crew well enough. They've got everything ready to roll. So much so, basically kind of just pushed it off. Didn't even bother doing any checks or anything. And he's just going to wind up backing this thing out and getting out of here, which is kind of wild. So here we go. We've got our next crew coming in on approach. And let's see how these guys do as they try and line this one up and get ready to get it on the dock. So Cap's going ahead and making his turn. Gonna try and line up the approach. We've got somebody in the bow with the lines on the ready. We're gonna go with the no fender method, which is pretty common down here. Always get a little nervous. I mention it all the time when I see people standing in the bow like this. He's not really holding on to anything other than the line. Sounds like an easy way to go over the bow if Cap gets a little frisky with the throttle. So, and Cap does wind up a little frisky with the throttle, but not in the way I'm talking about, as he's trying to get this one lined up. And kicks the bow out. Our guy from the bow goes for the leap anyway to try and save Cap on this one, as Cap was kicking the stern back over, which means the bow was kicking out off the dock. And interestingly enough, our guy went for the leap anyway, kind of at the wrong time, as Cap was on the throttle at the time he did it. It worked out. He landed it, but that was probably closer than we think to somebody winding up in the drink. But 2 crew members off now, 2 lines on the dock, as they'll wind up walking it up. And Cap, good call on Cap. He's left the helm, which means he's already killed this one. He's turned it off. Once you get that second line on, do that. So the old backup assist for the jet ski trailers. Our guy walks down here to get his buddy lined up. So we've got the door open as he's trying to keep an eye on it. Got to be careful with the door open down here. I've seen several times now where people keep this door open and they wind up coming up on the ramp and they get the door caught on the bottom there on the actual dock that's walking out. So his buddy in the pink shorts has come up to the truck for some reason. I guess maybe he's trying to give him help. Maybe he's getting the keys to the ski. Our Robalo's getting a little handsy with the throttle here as well. So they see the camera, kind of tosses the wave back. Angle's a little off. They got two fenders out, though. They should be... It looks like they're going to be all right. Cap leaves the helm to give him the little push-off to try and give him a little space on that side. And what's interesting here, it looks like the red ski's kind of drifting away. You see that red ski on the port-hand side of the boat? Again, we see that one only down here. I don't understand why, but down here at 79th, all the time, we see these guys just letting the skis kind of drift off the dock and not really using lines or anything to try and get it held. They just kind of let it float around. So our guy here gets it lined up. Losses a little power and is going to get it powered right up onto the trailer. And he should be good to go. And here we go. We've got another crew trying to back the single trailer up, and they wound up missing on the first attempt. Trying to reline it up on the second one, but taking a really wide turn here. I mean, I guess he's trying to give himself plenty of room to work. But this probably would have been easier if he would have pulled him to where the number 4 is versus going all the way over there. And you can see the other skis that we saw earlier, they're pulling out on the other side. He's going to try and bring this one all the way back over. But really hasn't set him up in a good spot for what many people consider to be one of the toughest backups. I mean, and for good reason. If you've never done this, what winds up happening here is you can't see the trailer. So when it's in the exact perfect spot where you want it to be, you can't see it. And the next thing you know, you do see it in the mirrors, and by that point in time, it's too late, as it's messed up and in the wrong spot, and you wind up overcorrecting the entire time. The only way to really help with this one is like drop the tailgate so where you can see where the actual trailer is, or like we just saw with the other guy, sometimes people open the door and kind of hang out where they can see where the actual trailer is as well. And somebody stopped him here. He's like, hey bro, go ahead and turn that wheel all the way to the other side, and gonna try helping him. As he's trying to get this one back down. So he's coming straight back now, but that's not a good spot as the trailer's going the wrong way. Our guy's going to come over here and drag this one. I prefer if you pick it up from the end and pull it over versus dragging it along the axle like that. Probably should have pulled it a little further though, because his buddy's not quite still in the right spot. As you can see, as he's backing down, that trailer's still going to the right-hand side. But he's got it deep enough now where they should be able to get his ski on there. I can't tell, but if you look, there's something floating in the water off the dock. I don't know if that's a life jacket or what that is. I can't tell from here, but we're about to get shot blocked on it anyways. It looks like this crew's going to come in right where that thing's floating. And let's see how our crew does here. So Cap's got her lined up. He's got a buddy on the boat with him, but he's on the wrong side to be doing anything with lines or anything. Cap just put his hands in the air and stepped away from the wheel for a second. I'm not sure what that was about. And I wonder if we've got a side seat captain next to him kind of trying to tell him what to do. Maybe he's trying to teach him. I don't know. But Cap, they grabbed something. There we go, out of the water. I missed it again as she was doing it. And coming in with the bow first, but still, they're moving so slow that this is not a bad thing right here. Again, golden rule. Never approach anything any faster than you're willing to hit it. If you follow that rule, your boating life will be a much better thing. Even if you are circling around the dock, taking everything slow and easy typically leads to an easier time. And we were just talking about this one earlier. People just letting the skis float around, and that's exactly what's happening here. The red ski you see there is floating off. You can see my guy in the water was going out and trying to get it, wound up turning back around. And as they had the other guy pulling up the other ski, he was going to try and push it over, it looks like. But now he's trying to get on the trailer and navigate around this ski by bumping it still. What in the world is going on here? So our guy in the pink shorts over here, he's back up at the trailer. And you can't even see him. There he is. I was about to say, there's another guy who's in there and went swimming after the ski again. I just don't understand why nobody down here bothers using a line. It just doesn't make any real sense to me. But my guy's got it. He's swimming it over. And now the other ski looks like he's finally got enough room where he can go ahead and try and get this one put on. And the other crew, they're going to try and walk theirs up, which they should be able to. It looks like it won't be that big of a deal. If the trailer for the jet skis, if the end bunks are in the water, it's not a big deal to walk it up, slide it up, or even winch it up. It doesn't weigh that much, so it's a pretty simple time. Now this one's always interesting on these jet boats. Should she be on the back of this boat like this? Most states have laws against it where you have to be within the actual cockpit of the boat. So within the bow or right behind the helm or anything like that, but you can't sit on the extremities like that. And it's not necessarily a good idea, but let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on it. Right here, they're coming in. I'm assuming this is a drop because he's not going to be able to load the boat backwards. So if he's coming in like this, that tells me that typically they're just coming up to the dock, going to drop a couple people and get right back out of here. And speaking of getting right back out of here, we're going to go ahead and get out of here as it's starting to get dark. But thanks for watching, crew. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Miami Boat Ramps. If you did, please check out our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of great things down at the inlets. My channel, Broncos Guru, does some great comedy boating videos there as well. And of course, we got Boats versus Haulover, where Man and Machine take on Mother Nature down at Haulover Inlet. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here. If not, we're coming to steal your drain plug.